everyone, it's Amy here and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be a makeup tutorial using a brand new palette from Tarte, and this is the Tarte Styled by Hrush palette. I saw this palette released early for Platinum members at Ulta last weekend, and it just looked gorgeous, and it had some beautiful colors in here and purples, and the cheeky color, the coral color for your cheeks is just gorgeous. So I was super inspired to do a makeup tutorial with this palette, so that's what we're going to do today. So the first thing I'm going to do is put some tape on the outer corner of my eye. That way we just have a really nice sharp edge and clean edges when we remove that tape. I love doing that for a look. It just makes it look so put together. And then as far as priming my eyes is the first step that I'm going to do, and I'm going to be using this new Essence I Love Color Intensifying eyeshadow base. So then I'm going to be using a Zoeva 142 brush, which is a concealer buffer brush, and I'm just going to be blending this into the skin. That way we have a really nice clean canvas and a clean base. And then I always love to set my concealer or primer or whatever I'm using for the eye, and so this palette actually doesn't really have a shade in here that I want to use. I wanted usually to use like a cream or like a transparent color or something, so I'm going to be grabbing my Tarte Tease palette and taking the shade Whisper, which is just a little tiny cream color, and I'm going to be packing that all over the lid with my Zoeva 232 Luxe Classic Shader Brush. And then for my first shade, going in with the new Styled by Hrush palette from Tarte, I'm going to be going in with the shade Pinch, which is kind of like a corally brown, and I'm going to be using this as my transition shade. So I'm going to take a fluffier brush, and this is my 228 from Zoeva, which is a Luxe crease brush, and I'm going to pick up some of the Pinch, tap it off, and then really work that into my crease. Next, going in with another shade for my transition color, I'm going to go in with the shade Vamp, which has a little bit more of a cool undertone, and I'm going to be putting this in my crease, but I'm going to go a little bit underneath that shade Pinch because I want Pinch to really be noticeable, to have a little bit of a coral pop of color in our crease. So next I'm going to go in with our outer corner crease shade, because I find that when I go in with lighter shades first, like I'm going to do later on with Bliss and Smitten, and then go in with the darker shades in the corner, that it can overpower, and then you have to start layering so much more of those lighter shades. So I always like to go in with the darker shade out in the corner first, and then kind of stamp and blend on top, blending into the lighter shade. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to pick up the shade Kitty, and I'm taking my MAC 217, which is just a little bit of a shorter, more dense brush, and really blend that into the outer crease. Now for the fun part of using like the gold and champagne colors in the palette, I'm going to be taking a flat definer brush, which I couldn't find my favorite one, which is the MAC 242. So I'm going to be using the Morphe S30, and I'm going to be picking up the shade Bliss, and I'm going to be working that first into the inner corner of my eye, and then once I start packing on the color and really blending it out, I'm going to bring it about halfway to the middle of my eye. And then now I'm going to go in with a little bit more of a precise crease brush. This is the Zoeva 231. I'm going to go back in with that shade Kitten, and I wanted a more precise brush. That way I can really just get it into the crease and into the outer V and blend that all together to make it a little bit more seamless and to deepen up that outer corner. And then now I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of Bliss as well, just to brighten it up a little bit. It's always kind of a little bit of a dance going back and forth between this stuff. But because we started with the darker color, I find that I don't have to do this as much to get it to the brightness and blending that I want. Then now going in with a more precise brush, I'm going to go in with the Morphe E35, and I'm going to take the shade Kitten and just put this in the inner corner of my eye and kind of in that tear duct area, just to give it a little bit more of a bright effect. If you guys want a step-by-step process of how I do a winged eyeliner, I do have a video for that, and we'll link it down below. I have my winged eyeliner, so I'm going to work on my lower lash line now, and I wanted to use this really fun, beautiful pop of color, the Royal shade, which is such a gorgeous kind of purple shade, which is the reason why I pretty much wanted this palette. It just looked gorgeous. So I'm going to put this on the lower lash line, and so I'm going to be taking a Luxie 221 flat definer brush and picking that up and really tightly putting this as close to my lower lash line as possible. Now going in with my Morphe E36, I'm going to take the shade Kitty really lightly and just kind of smoke out underneath that purple shade we went in with. For some added brightness, I'm going to be using this NARS Larger Than Life Longwear Eyeliner in the shade Rue Bonaparte, and I'm going to be putting this in my waterline. That way it gives just a little bit of a pop of color since it's a cream color, and just kind of opens up the eyes since some of these colors are very dark. So now I'm going to highlight underneath the brow bone, and I'm going to go in with that first brush that we had used, which was the Zoeva 232 Luxe Classic Shader, and I'm going to take just a tad bit of Smitten, and we are going to highlight underneath the brow bone. And now for mascara, I'm going to go in with the CoverGirl, the Super Sizer Mascara, and give my top lashes just one coat to prime them for false eyelashes, and then I will go in on the lower lash line as well. The eyelashes that I'm going to be using today are the Laura Luxie eyelashes in the shade, or in the style, Opulent. I'm going to pop on a pair of those. Here is the completed look. I really like how it turned out. I feel like it's just a nice, like, in the middle of the road, like not too light but not too vampy and dark and smoky. It's just kind of a nice champagne and gold smoky eye with lots of browns and a little pop of color of the purple, and so I really like how it turned out. I think it's really pretty and really, really easy to do as well. So my first impressions using this palette is it's super easy to use. They blend out so well, and so I'm really enjoying it. So I'm going to play with this for the next day or two, and then I will put a review up for you guys as well, so be on the lookout for that. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, give this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you can stay tuned to all my upcoming videos, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye!